I started playing rugby union up at my local rugby club, Loughborough. My brothers played, my cousins played, my uncle. Come from quite a male background, well, male family base. So they all played at the club, and me and my nan, we used to go to the Trafford Centre on a Sunday where they all stood out in the cold. And then they did a few girls' teams, and my uncle Danny, he coached my age group. So me and a few of my friends went up in our white frilly socks, ready to get covered in mud. And then, yeah, went from there really. I played, but I had, a few tantrums along the way. I had a love-hate relationship with rugby union. And then on, I think I was around 15 when my granddad took me over to Rugby League. He took me to Huddersfield to do a summer camp. I really didn't want to go. I was so used to playing with my friends up at Loughborough and, coached by my uncle, all the familiarities. Yeah, I really didn't want to go. I say he held me against my will, but, it didn't. I did get in the car and go myself. So we went there and there were a coach there from Huddersfield women's team. They were in the championship at the time. And he asked me if I'd go train for them. And I ended up training for him. And I think it was the day after my 16th birthday, I made my debut for Huddersfield Giants, which is how I got into rugby league. And I think I did a bit of both with rugby union and rugby league. And then obviously I had to make my choice. And I chose rugby league.
Are frilly socks a rugby union thing? I assume there's no frilly socks in rugby league. That can't be.
I don't think there's frilly socks in rugby union either. I think probably came from school with my white frilly socks on.
How did you find that your first days at Huddersfield and learning the game, so to speak?
Well, I actually really enjoyed it. The girls were really welcoming, and I played. Obviously, I played my first game after my 16th birthday, but I played a few years down the line, and we got a few more players, and there were the likes of like Beth Oates and Amelia Brown, and I really enjoyed playing with them. And Huddersfield, I think, taught me the professionalism within the game. Like it was another level from playing at your local community club, and yeah, I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed playing with, like I say, the likes of, say, Beth Oates and Amelia Brown and all the others within the team. And it was a good laugh. And we achieved quite a lot as going from the championship, came into the Super League, and then within the first year of Super League, we went and won the Shield, which was obviously a great achievement for Huddersfield Giants and us as a team.
We're at the time of year where it tends to be looking back to 2024 and looking ahead to 25. So starting at next year and working back, the fixtures have just been announced for Women's Super League. How does that make? Does that put a focus on your pre-season now?
I think we're already really focused on pre-season. Like last year, we wanted to win the treble. We didn't quite make it, but I think this year we're more hungry than ever to get that treble, get that silverware, and we've got a few new faces that have come. Obviously, we've lost a few in, say, Paige Travis, who's obviously a massive asset to our team, but we've gained, say, Amy Hardcastle, massive, Shona Hoyle, Faye Gaskins come back, and then like young people, Caitlin Casey's come through. So, our squad's it's a strong squad, and I think we're all looking forward to working together for the 2025 season, and hopefully we'll maybe get a treble, get some silverware under our belts. But yeah, I think we're all really looking forward to it. And the competition within the squad's really high. So, you're working for your shit week in, week out, and yeah, I think everyone knows that going into pre-season that you've got to put in the work.
And I guess the biggest date in the diary for next year for you at the moment will be March the 1st, included in the England women's train-on squad for potentially playing in Las Vegas. What sort of a motivation is that?
It's massive. Obviously, I've made my debut with England, and you've got to, like, it's not a given. I'm not on that plane next March, and you've got to put in the work and everything. And I was lucky enough to get into the training squad in the first place. And, you know, it's a really competitive training squad where you're not going to be on that plane unless you work your ass off. Sorry. But you're not, and, you know, you've got to put that work in. And hopefully I'll do everything I can to put myself in that position to be on the plane. But like I say, it's not a given.
How was the England debut? How did it feel running out and the anthem and all that kind of stuff?
It's massive. Do you know what? It was really overwhelming, and I was really nervous. When you pull on that shirt, you know you've got a job to do, and for me, my family are really important to me, and going out and seeing them, you know, everything, it feels like it's paid off. Like they're with you through your whole journey, the ups and the downs, because there's lots of downs as well as ups in rugby, and they're with you through it all. And to go out and make them just as proud as, you know, I've made myself, it's, you know, it's massive and it's really overwhelming. But yeah, it was a great day, and I really enjoyed after, you know, I'd settled into the game. I'd really enjoyed my debut, and it went really fast.
How hard do you have to work then between now and Vegas to make sure you're in the England squad? And how does it fit around the real life of Erin Stott?
Really hard. You know, I myself am a uni student, so it's like balancing, you know, your uni work, and your training. You know, you've got to fit it all in, and it's difficult, but you do it because, you know, you want to do it, and you want to put yourself in the best position to get to where you want to be.
There's been a change in the coaching staff at Saints, which isn't a change. It's the previous regime coming back. Again, how do you view that, and what sort of impact have they made first off?
Well, I was never at Saints when Deck was there originally, but from what I had heard, the girls absolutely loved him and they couldn't wait for him to be back. I had some snippets of obviously being trained by Deck in the England squad. And honestly, he's such a good coach. He's proper. He'll nitpick to the point where, like, he'll tell you what you need to do. He won't, like, blow smoke up your ass. And you know, he's amazing, and he's very nurturing and caring. Yeah, I'm really excited to work with Deck and Craig. Both of them alongside each other. You know, they're such good coaches, and I'm sure they'll put us in the best position for 2025.
You spoke about your England debut. What about playing at Wembley? Because so few players, men or women, the opportunity to do that. How big did that feel when you walked out of the National Stadium?
Well, you know, it's the biggest stage you can play on, and it's something you only to be fair, as a young child, you don't even dream of it because it's not something that's in your eyesight. Like it wasn't available. It wasn't stuff like that growing up wasn't there for you to look towards and aspire to do. So when we got there, like I say, it was so overwhelming. I'd played with Saints, but I weren't eligible for the Challenge Cup the first time around. So it were a bittersweet moment really going to Wembley the first time, because I was with the squad and, you know, they'd won, and I was really, really happy for him and really excited to get the opportunity to go to Wembley. But it made me hungrier than ever to go the next year, and I wanted to play there myself. I wanted to again make my family proud. Like going out there, it were overwhelming, and seeing my family again. They'd come down to London to support me, and it was again such a proud moment for them as it was for me.
When you walk up those steps after you've played for 80 minutes or whatever, how do you get the energy to do that? Because obviously there's a lot more steps than there used to be at Wembley these days.
Well, it's adrenaline, isn't it? Like, you know, that's what you want to do, and like I said, it's something you could only ever dream of doing, and you know, you might only do it once, and you've got to take your opportunities as they come to walk up those steps.
You say that obviously you missed out the first year because you were cup tied with Huddersfield. How did the move to Saints come about in the first place?
I think obviously I'd loved playing at Huddersfield. I loved playing with the players around me, and I think at the time it was I'm quite good friends with Paige. She's from the same town as me, and we'd got talking, and next thing you know, I was on the phone to Matty Smith, and the opportunity arose, and he wanted me in the squad, and it wasn't at the time an opportunity that I wanted to turn away. For me, it would help me progress with, playing alongside the likes of the England players at the time, like Jodie, Jodie Page, everyone. It's like so many experienced players that I wanted to learn from and play alongside.
Tell me about Paige, because I've interviewed her a couple of times and she comes across as completely bonkers. Is that how she is?
Yeah, she's absolutely nuts. She's crazy. I know everyone's gonna miss her so much when she goes to the NRL, but our loss is their gain, and she has just as much impact on the field as she does off the field. She's always the first one with like her arm around you, or the first one fighting your corner. If I'm down on the pitch, she's the first one standing over me, waiting to make sure I'm okay. And like I say, she has just as much impact off the field as well. Like her personality is, she's so funny. She's the first one to make you laugh, and they'll definitely know they've got her.
So that's the question. Not that is Paige ready for the NRLW? Are they ready for her?
Yeah, correct. Are they ready for her?
Do you take a lot of notice of the NRLW and the standard of play over there? Are you a watcher of it? Do you think at some point, if they came calling for you, you might be interested?
I mean, the NR. Well, it's a really good opportunity, and it's a massive achievement for anyone to be playing in the NRL. But at the moment, it's not crossed my mind. I'm more focusing on the 2025 season with Saints and putting myself in the best position for Vegas, really.
And have you seen the standard you'll be up against? Hopefully you do get to Vegas. What the level that they're playing at the moment, does that inspire you? Is it a benchmark? Does it frighten you a little bit?
A bit of everything, really. Like, obviously, the top athletes out there, and when we go to Vegas, we'll be playing, against the best of the best. But it's what we want. You want that challenge in the games, and you want to put yourself against the best because it's the only way you're going to get better. And you want to be the best. So what better way to do that than playing against the best?
And the likelihood is that you may well come up against them the following year in the World Cup, which is over in Australia. Not looking too far ahead. You're saying you're not necessarily on the plane to America.
Yeah.
Fancy being on the plane to Australia?
I know. There's so many opportunities now in the women's game, and they just keep coming. But you've got to take, baby steps. I can't look too far ahead. I've got to, get to Vegas first if I get there. But like I say, you've just got to be putting yourself in that best position for the opportunities to come your way.
You mentioned earlier that Wembley wasn't a thing you could aspire to go to as a younger player. Who did you look up to as players when you started your rugby league journey?
When I started my rugby league journey, I didn't really watch rugby league, so I didn't have those people to look up to in a sense. But as soon as I did start watching it and I got familiar with the players in the game, I looked up to people like Jodie and say Amy Hardcastle, and I'm really grateful now that I get to play alongside those players. It's what a dream come true.
How good is Jodie? Because I tend to think that because she's consistently good all the time, we kind of miss how good she actually is.
Yeah. No, Jodie's a great player, and it's all off the back of the work she puts in. She's constantly working, and it shows on the field. And she is one of the best players in the game.
Who are you looking forward to coming up against next year with Saints? Obviously, now you've brought these new players in from Leeds. Well, let me ask you about Faye Gaskin. Were you surprised when she turned up at training then? She's retired. Everyone's excited. We're all sending her off. I said happy retirement to her in the tunnel at St Helens, and then she comes back within a few weeks. I feel I wasted my breath.
Yeah, no. I think I don't think there were a sad face in training when Faye Gaskin turned up. She's such an impactful player in the squad, again on and off the field, and she's always the first with an arm around you. And I really looked up to Faye coming to Saints, and she definitely took me under her wing. So I myself am buzzing that she's back to have another season with us.
Was it hard to get over the disappointment of the grand final? Because obviously you go through the season, you win the league lead, you win the Challenge Cup and everything, and then you get to the grand final and it's the final hurdle. But have you been able to get over that disappointment now?
Yeah, like it is disappointing, but our girls are really tight, and we help each other out of that, and I think we're all looking forward to next season and hopefully get there again. And like I've never played in a grand final before, so I were taking it all in, just being there. But yeah, hopefully next year we'll get some silverware under our belt.
What does a pre-season look like? Because we know that obviously the men are fully professional. They're being absolutely flogged at every club that they're at. But that's what they're paid to do. Clearly, you're not paid in the same way. It's more expenses based. What can you do in pre-season to prepare yourselves?
Well, when we're at training, I'm sure it's just as intense. Like we have to do our running, we have to do our gym, and your skill sets and things like that. But yeah, we don't get paid like obviously as much, but it's what you want to do. Like we want to play rugby. We were playing before we were paid, and the opportunities that come from it. And but yeah, pre-season, it's tough. It's just as tough for us, and we've got to do it outside of training as well, because obviously we don't have as much training sessions. So you've got to put the work in away from training in pre-season as well. So yeah, it's definitely just as tough.
And what does Christmas look like? Do you allow yourself the chance to indulge in all the things that we'll be tucking into, or in the back of your mind, I need to go for a run on Christmas Day and then I can justify having my turkey?
No, I think you've got to have your time away, but it definitely plays in your mind. I know, like when I've been on holiday, say if I've been in holiday during the season, it's always in my mind, like, do I need to be doing this? Do I need to be doing that? But it's good to have your time away, and you need a break from it.
So it's this attitude and professionalism which stopped me from being an athlete. See, I won't be able to have that mindset. That and the talent, obviously, as well. Erin, thank you very much for your time. Phil, have you got anything else? Have we run out of things to say?
Well, we haven't
No.
now. It's been lovely. It's been lovely meeting you. And obviously, we'll be keeping an eye on your progress. Hopefully, we'll be watching you beat the Gillaroos in Las Vegas. That's the big thing on my calendar at the moment. But good luck with everything you do.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Hello, Richard Shorett here from the 4020 Rugby League podcast. Now, do you like darts? What do you mean? No, everyone loves darts now. It's popular again. That lad who got to the world final and he wins stuff and he's from Warrington. Anyway, would you like some exclusive 4020 live darts flights? Of course you would. Even if you don't like darts, I'll throw them. They're a great memento of your favourite Rugby League podcast. What do you mean you prefer James Graham's? Anyway, all I want you to do to get hold of a set of darts flights, that's 3 of them because you have 3 darts, is make a donation to the Leeds Children's Heart Surgery Fund. I'll stick a link somewhere on the video. I'll put a QR code there. That'd be nice, won't it? Send me your details, but via social media. You can find 4020 everywhere. You know where we are. And I will send you in the post a set of exclusive 4020 live darts flights, unless we run out, and then I'll order some more, and then they'll be slightly less exclusive. 4020 and darts at Christmas. What more could you want? Unless it's after Christmas, and then, just if you want some, just get in touch.